I have this big thing, like I think
Yeah.
software is going to be gone. Not, sorry, it's so dramatic, not gone.
I,
But the world I
I know
grew up
what you
with
mean.
is, right? We turned paper to digital. I'm part of a AI startup called Omadeus, where we
Oh,
basically
really?
create the AI from the bottom up. So instead, we're starting with data, and I actually did a podcast with the CEO, which is where we started working together after about knowing each other
Yeah.
for a year. But Omadeus's thing is that we're an AI native platform, and that it starts with the data. It doesn't start with the LLM. And in fact, we just create
Right.
these mini LLMs and swarms. I mean, it's a standard practice, though I feel everybody
Right.
is being sold the API. I won't say API wrapper, but the idea of wrapping AI around software, I think, is one of the
That's
early.
right.
But do you find that is that just me sort of like selling my own thing
No,
on the podcast, or is there
no,
it's like the old software ways getting in the way?
yeah, I believe the same thing because they're just building off LLMs, right? And putting a few rules in front of it, and they're creating content. That's, I mean, that is just a very basic level, and it's the deeper thinkers that say, "Hey, look, let's see what we can create that's unique." Instead of doing that route, they're you're doing what you're doing now. I've predicted because I mean, I've been in data for decades, right?
Yeah.
I see, and it's starting right now, where you're going to get silos of data. We went away from silos to these data lakes and common, right? We're going to go back to silos where there's specific data in there that's hard. It's true data, and if you want it, you have to pay for it, right? So if you're
Yeah.
like, say, in the insurance industry, you're going to pay for the data in this vertical, and it's intelligent because you've built intelligence into it. And if you're creating new drugs, you're going to pay for the data in this silo because it's more valuable. And OpenAI is essentially doing that with their $2,000 to $20,000 you know pay base of their new AI. And what they're doing with that is by doing that, they're creating higher end, deeper thoughts in those that start to train that LLM deeper, and it continues the training on it as people use it, but they're using it at a higher level than the average person, right?
Yeah. 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 Though it's interesting, though. Do you feel that any of the one of my, I won't say negative experience with ChatGPT because I like it, but it seems to me that the
Yeah.
safety measures recently have made it so. I have certain questions I ask LLMs that are real historical questions that it was not politically correct
Yeah.
to ask, though I don't ask it that way. It's very factual. And I went to DeepSeek when it first like popped, and I was like, okay, let me try it. Let me try you out. Here's my adversarial question, which isn't. It's just like these are historical facts. I know where you can find them. And
Yeah.
DeepSeek was on top of it like the day is long. And it wasn't that it was afraid, but some of the limited ways, as I can say from an outside only perspective, but the way that they designed it to sort of like work on more like a startup was also inspiring to me because I feel like a lot of AI has that, like it's really cool. ChatGPT has that ability to create that intelligence, but will the safety levels in as far as the consumer experience create sort of an inequality? Because the higher you get in, the more you can control it, the more you can use it, obviously, and that's a good thing. But will all
Right.
this super, I guess I'm saying, will AGI and super intelligence be available to everybody? Right? No. Is that
Not
wrong?
really. No. You know, whether it's right or wrong is an opinion because there's nothing out there, an authority that says it's right or wrong, right? It's an
That's so
opinion.
good.
And some people are going to think it's wrong, some people are going to think it's right. And whoever thinks the most is going to win out.
It's so funny. You caught me on that one too. It's sort of become a bias because I think part of it is what's pushing people away from AI. Here's this nebulous thing, which we're sitting around a room. I love it. Okay. And I love the tools.
Yeah.
So I
Oh,
see
yeah.
that.